Right, hello and welcome back for the Express PCBs course here. And let's continue with understanding. That's the file that we had created. It was a sample PCB file, and that's how we have drawn the traces out here. And so now let's go through the tools that we are seeing here. Typically, these tools. What is the significance of these tools? As we see here, out here we have the select button, which is like, okay, that's what we have. Then you have the hole and the pad. If I click on that, this particular section gets activated. Okay, now when I say that this particular section gets activated, what does it show? Now see, these are the different pads that we have here. Okay, now these are the dimensions of the pad. 0.037 inches diameter pad with 0.020 in hole. Okay, so these are the specifications of the diameter pads and the corresponding holes that they have provided us with. Okay, and so why do we need, like, I mean, why do we need different types of holes and pads and all now? From the design perspective, now this is a different kind. This is a hole with a circular pad. Okay, this is used for inserting wires or components and for connecting to the other board layers. Okay, so this can be used if you want to connect to other board layers. So typically if you are on the top copper layer, then if you want to go to the bottom copper layer, you can use this particular pad. Then the next one we have is a wire. Now what is a wire? Wire is, it connects to other layers but not intended for inserting wires or component leads, which means you can draw a wire, okay, but it is not going to be, you will not be using it for inserting the wires and the component leads. So like, you know, the pins of other components, you cannot use a wire for that. Out here we have the circular pad. Now for surface mount components including BG and soldering pads, it doesn't connect to other layers. Okay, so typically this circular pad, it is only for SMD components, so surface mount devices and components, and soldering pads. Okay, you will not be using it. It does not connect between other layers. So it is important out here for us to understand the different types of holes and pads that we have. Okay, and the significance of each type of hole or a pad that we have, or a pad hole. And now that's a square one, that's a square box. So that's a hole with square pad. Now this is used for, again, inserting wires and components and for connecting to other board layers. Square shape usually indicate pin 1. Okay, so if you want to connect something like this out here, okay, I'm maximizing this. Now this is pin number 1. Okay, so if you want to insert a pad here, you'll have to click on this. So now you've inserted a pad here. See, out here you can see this is the square pad that you have inserted with a hole with a square pad. Okay, so this is how you will have to insert, and this is the pad that you will be using for insertion, or the square pad with the hole that will come into play. And then you also have the rectangular pad for surface mount components and soldering pads, but again, once again, it will not be connecting. Now see, what you can see here is the wire is, it looks like this. A hole with circular pad looks like this. A circular pad, okay, a circular pad just looks like, you know, it is totally covered. Now when you compare these two buttons, you can see out here there is a hole within, but there is no hole. So again, since there is no hole, it's a pad. Since there is a hole, it's a pad with hole, and there you are using it for any, I mean, if you want to insert the wires and components. But out here, in case of circular pad, you cannot do that. Much the same way, you have a square pad over here with a hole, but out here the rectangular pad does not have a hole. Okay, out here we see a hole with octagon pad. When I say octagon pad, how does it look like? Let me select that and click over here. Oops, it's not showing up. Okay, never mind. So this is the octagon pad that we have for inserting wires and components for connecting to other board areas. Again, this is what? This is an octagon pad without a hole. That was the one with hole, and this was without a hole. And then you have the hole with long pad, and the pad long pad, and then you have a hole with offset pad, and then you have then you have a pad with, like, a hole with offset pad, and then you have just an offset pad. So these are the different types of holes and pads that we are seeing here, that we are using, and the significance of each of these will depend on the type of activity or the task or the component mounting that you wish to carry out. Again, out here I was showing you all the uh, octagonal hole. So this was the hole with octagon pad. So out here, when you maximize this, you can actually see that, like, there are eight sizes, or eight sides to this particular hole, and therefore it is called as an octagon pad. So these are the holes in the pads that come into play when we speak of Express PCB Plus software. And of course, we use the select button here for selecting. So I'll select this and I'll delete this octagon pad. And the next thing is the parts. So let's click on parts. Now when I click on parts, this particular tool is very important. So, like, it also has a drop down. So let's click on the drop down. See, out it shows us the parts that are there in the library. We also have the importing of the Express PCB parts. You also have the new land pattern, import Eagle part, import part from Snap EDA. So these are the different options that are available when it comes to part, typically importing the parts. So if I have to click on, like, import Express PCB parts, if I click on that, you have to enter the category. So you can enter whatever category you have. This category can be used to organize your parts in design gallery. So, like, let's say something like resistor, and you click OK. You must select at least one file for import in step 2. Okay, so let's click. Is there a file that we can see here? Well, we don't have any file actually. Now again, these are the parts that are custom made. Let us, oops, wait, select that, I'll delete it. So when I click on import Express PCB parts, they can be useful when you use Express PCB classic parts. So when I say classic parts, means what? Now here we have two different types of PCB design softwares. One is the Express PCB Plus, which is a more recent and a latest version, and then you have the Express PCB Classic, which is an older version. And so if there are any parts which are of that particular version, you can import them over here. Out here, when we click on more parts in library, so it shows us the different categories. Now you can see there is a long list of, like, categories that you can scroll down onto. Okay, but let's take each of these categories a little individually, quickly. So out here, what do we see? That's AVR. Okay, so these are your AVR components that we are seeing here. Then you have the battery, so we can see the different types of battery. That's a coin cell holder, that's a keystone cell holder, and then you have the capacitor. So these are the long list of different types of capacitors that we have: aluminum capacitors, axial capacitors, and we also have the large capacitors, tantalum capacitors, polarized capacitors, tantalum capacitors, radial capacitors also available. So then you have a library of different types of capacitors, and there are connectors as well. Now you can see these are the different connectors that we are seeing here. So depending on which type of connector you want to select, most of the connectors are available over here that you can see. Molex types are here. Then you also have the ribbon ones that we generally see in case of computer hardware devices. So that is one thing. And then have the ribbon ones, single inline ones, and the TC2030. So these are the different connectors that you can use. These are the ones that are at least available in the US markets, surely. And then you have the diodes. So these are the different types of diodes that we have here. Um, the Zener ones are here, the Zener diodes, and you have the IN 1N series diodes that are here. MOSFETs are here, and the LED diodes are also here. The RGB, that is the red, green, blue diodes. Schottky diodes are also here. And then let's go on the DIP, that's a dual inline package. Now we have 14 pin, 16, 18, 20, 22, and right up to 40 pin, up to 48 pin dual inline packages we have. Suppose if I click on this and if I double click on that, and I bring and drop it over here somewhere. So now that is how your dual inline package will look like. Right click and I'll rotate it. Okay, if I want to rotate it, I'll come on this side. Yeah, you can rotate here also. So I click here and I rotate this. Now you can see here that's pin number 1, where you have a square hole with pad, not pad, but it's a square hole, and then you can count here. So like it's what, 48, it's 24 here, and then 25 to 48. So these are the pins that we can see here, and then if you want to connect it, you can click on the trace. Bring it here. And then you connect with this particular resistor. And I click on escape key so that this trace, that is this extra trace, is deselect. So, but this is how you, you can import the part from the library. Of course, we haven't finished yet. I click on parts again. Oops, excuse me. I click on this here and I click on more parts in library. Now, why did that happen? Because what happened here is, since we had already selected, we already selected a part. So when you click only on part, that particular part will come up over here. You press escape. You need to click on the drop down list here, and then you click on more parts in library, and only thereafter you'll be able to go and see the other relevant parts that you want to import. So these were the dual inline packages DIPs that we are seeing, and these are the ICs, integrated circuits, that are inbuilt. Most of these amplifiers or Schmitt triggers type flip-flops are also there, and voltage regulators are there, 545 timers are there. And then you have the inductor. So that's the standard inductor that we see. If you want to select LED, yes, we have the LED also. Logic, yeah, these are the logic circuit ICs that are available to us. And we also have some of the mechanical components, such as Pololu, Sanyo, 12G, and Moto. Now, of course, we need to study what this component is about. You might not always know all the components. So for now, this is what we have as far as the tools are concerned. And in the next video, I'll be taking you through these components as well, and these parts as well. So till then, yep, thank you for attending this course, and look forward to you in the next one. Thank you.